High Performance Podcast, looking at all things sport, performance, and Mustang this week. I'm on my own, I'm afraid, this week, so it's just going to be a short one that's going to talk about some of the things that have been going on in the last few weeks and what we are looking forward to in the coming weeks as well. So as you know, every single child at the school from year 3 to year 13 has been trialled in the last few weeks. It's been a mammoth operation across multiple sports, and having 3,000 children go through that process is no mean feat. To all of the students out there that trialled and signed up and gave it their best, well done. Your efforts were not in vain. It's about making sure that you are 100% resilient to what is coming next, be that entering into the Mustangs or it's not quite your turn this year. So it's a really good opportunity to make sure you're developing those sort of emotional resiliences to that. It's really easy to get upset, and that's absolutely fine. Please, I understand that some of you train and work really hard and are really desperate to be a Mustang. But it's really important that we remember that Mustang sport is extremely competitive, and being competitive is what the brand's about. P is for everyone. Mustang sport is for competition, and it's to make sure that we are representing our school. And I use the word competition and not the word winning intentionally. Winning's great, winning's brilliant, we always want to win. However, winning is not the most important thing. It's about being competitive. And some situations, for example, our boys football, for the first time ever in Metropol's history, all of our boys football teams in secondary school are now in Division 1, which is an incredible accomplishment, and something that 4 years ago when we were in Division 5 and Division 6 of DASA was something that we couldn't even think about. So congratulations there to Mr. Sharp and his team for driving the standard of football higher and higher and higher. What to look forward to then in this week? We have got several sign-up trials coming on in the next few weeks. So gymnastics is going out in a big way. Miss Safil and Miss Horswell are really going after gymnastics hard this year. We've entered both a primary and a secondary team into the DASA competition. Our Mustang Knights are pretty much set now. They're ready to go. And also Miss Safil is planning some really exciting things with regards to a showpiece event that will take place later in the year, where we will get all of our students to be able to show off their absolute wonderful capabilities in the arts, particularly in dance, gymnastics and cheer, which will be absolutely fantastic. So when we go into trials, let's just make sure that we are on time and that we give our absolute best in those moments. If a teacher takes your name, that doesn't mean that you're in or out. That just means that they want to get to know you. So please make sure that you focus on purely giving 100% into those trials and into those moments as well. So DASA leagues start next week. So what we are doing to kick that off is that on Tuesday the 23rd, so that's next week, there will be a Mustang Open evening for all of those students that are in secondary school that have been successful. That's a mandatory event. Your parents will start to get emails this week. Please make sure that you speak to your mums and dads about that, because they need to attend that event, because there are several key changes that are coming and there are some new people to introduce. For example, with the introduction of the combat into Mustang sport, Mr. Prosper needs to meet your parents, and they need to know who he is. They need to understand that obviously what that program will look like, and also making sure as well that we understand Mr. Prosper is still an active athlete and he is still performing at the highest level. So it's really important that he is able to act as an inspiration for our young combat athletes. The boxing was absolutely outstanding. We're still not quite there. We've got to finalise the trials on Thursday, but there's about 120 students that took place in that. The Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, the gentleman, Rog, that's coming in, he's a Brazilian black belt that's coming in to run it with us. He is astounded by the quality of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu at the school. So we're building something really, really special in combat sports. That's going to supplement with the wrestling that will start in a couple of weeks as well. So between the wrestling, the BJJ and the boxing, what we're doing is building a real comprehensive combat program for any student that wants to specialize in an area, or any student that really wants to develop themselves into an MMA sort of area and background. And obviously remember as well that we've started the IEP program. That's the high performance program for our future school students that need support in managing their time and making sure that their high performance needs, strength and conditioning, nutrition, recovery, that those needs are all met. Interviews are currently taking place with Mr. Jackson, Mr. Clark, and Miss McElhone. So please make sure, if you are a student that's applied for that program, that you pay attention to your emails and you turn up to your interview on time. That's everything. A very, very, very quick recap of what's going on at the minute. I'll be back next week with a guest speaker to talk all things. He actually is going to be Mr. Clark, who's going to speak all things strength and conditioning and physical athletic development, because that will start up the week after Mustang Squad startup. So you'll have your testing week. We will go through power, speed, and agility. So Mr. Clark's going to give everyone an insight into why we do that testing, why we measure you, and what the consequence of that was last year, because we had some amazing data come out of the strength and conditioning last year with students, generally speaking, on average looking to improve between 5 to 15%, broadly speaking. One example would be their power that was measured via a vertical jump using the VALD software. So a huge increase in some of those metrics, and we're very, very proud of what Mr. Clark has achieved in the strength and conditioning section of the high performance curriculum. So have a fantastic week. Good luck, all of our trialists. Make sure that you're getting onto your parents about checking emails, because it's really important we meet those deadlines. Have a wonderful week ahead, and we'll speak soon. Bye, guys.